Hey guys, welcome. I'm gonna give everyone a quick minute to get logged in and get connected. I've shared, I am not testing any crazy systems this week, so we are ready to go. You guys know the drill. Come on in, welcome into my home, my Aspira filled home. All my Aspira goodies. I am not taking all of these. Okay, yeah, no, I'm taking all of these, but those are all of my Aspira goodies. So, welcome to our ANS Team Live training. My name is Georgiana, and I'm going to be talking to you guys and sharing some motivation because today is a big day for us as representatives, and I am excited to be sharing it with you guys. So, I'm just going to give everyone a minute to hop on and log in, and then I'll probably introduce myself again. No, I'm kidding. Hey, Jessica. Hey, always so prompt and on time. I love your accountability, how you calendar. Jessica is juggling a lot of balls, and she keeps it together all the time. So, shout out to you, Jessica. So, share with us, JA. What are some of the things that you're sharing this week? What are some of the things that you're celebrating? While you type in the chat box, I will go first. I'm just trying to get my topic of discussion on my notepad, camera, journal, Facebook, Instagram connection to all my friends, aka my phone. Um, but so this week for me, my win. Hmm. I would have to say I don't even know if I should count this as a win because I feel like it's not really mine. But it's something I'm celebrating. So this weekend, hey Christina, welcome. Christina is also always so prompt. But this weekend was my first breast cancer walk with the American Cancer Society. We did our Making Strides walk in Central Park, Manhattan this weekend. And was it this? Yeah, Sunday. It feels like days ago. I feel like Saturday just kind of ran into Sunday, just ran into Monday. And now I don't know what day today is. But other than feeling drained and having my thighs and legs hurting still 2 days away, it was my first breast cancer walk. So I was excited to be a part of that, but I was also really surprised at how much of a great time that I had. Like, I'm still talking about it today, just sharing with random people how great the event was. You guys know I'm rocking my breast cancer pink ribbon sneakers, as well as my pink puffer vest, as well as I found my Avon pink ribbon tote bag from had to be about 2 years ago. I've been wearing that. So for me, October is pink month. I don't do Halloween. I do breast cancer awareness. So we go from summer to breast cancer awareness to Thanksgiving. That's how my holiday system rolls. But I had such an amazing time. The energy was so great. The people were so positive. The stories that I heard, the willingness of people to share, the compassion of people, the way everyone just kind of bonded together to encourage each other, to share their stories and share their inspirations. There are so many people who were survivors who would come and share their story. Like, I felt so encouraged and motivated. And this has sort of been, hey, Jennifer, welcome. Thank you for joining us. So I felt just really encouraged and motivated. And it's been the theme throughout all of the events. I did 2 breast cancer kickoffs, one in Queens. Thank you, Jennifer. One kickoff was in Queens, one was in New York City, in Manhattan. And the energy was the same throughout. It was always just positivity, high energy, good stuff happening. And I was like, this is the kind of people that you want to surround yourself. People who just have a vivacity, I think, is that the right word? Just like a passion for life, the little things don't get them down anymore because they've gone through such huge things in their life, and they're still just so passionate about life. It was just really amazing to me, and I couldn't, even though this was the third time that I was at a Making Strides event, I was just blown away by how awesome everyone is. And we're New Yorkers. We're not as mean as people think we are, but this was a level of niceness that I was not used to. And so that was my win. Like I was saying, I don't know if I could really count it as a win because it's not an event that I organized. It was an event that I participated in. But I was thankful for Avon inviting me to participate. They had 2 tents, one at the starting line, one at the finish line. I was at the finish line tent. It didn't really matter because people were coming in from every direction. But I loved that a lot of times talking to each other as reps, you might hear people say, oh, nobody wants to do Avon anymore. Oh, nobody wants to buy Avon. Oh, you can't find customers. Oh, you can't find people who want to join. There were people there who came up to the tent like, oh my gosh, Avon is a sponsor? That is so great. I knew from way back in the day that Avon has always been involved in breast cancer awareness. I know that they used to do this other walk. I used to see the commercials, and I was able to say, oh yeah, my vest was from Avon, my shoes was from Avon. And to be able to show that to people, and they're like, wow, we didn't know that Avon was doing so much fundraising. We didn't know that Avon sold products as fundraisers. So there was a really great opportunity for us as representatives to share everything that Avon was doing for the cause, but it was also a really good opportunity for those people who knew Avon from back in the day, who grew up with Avon, who knew Avon's story and Avon's passion for women, to share their excitement at seeing Avon there. So I think that the Making Strides events are awesome. They're still going on. So if you're just tuning in, check in your area, see if there's a Making Strides event. It's not too late. I'm still fundraising, even though my walk was on Saturday, on this past Sunday. I'll be doing another walk next Sunday. So I'll be, I'm still trying to see if I can get any more donors for the events, but it's a really great event. It's a really amazing opportunity. And I am so, so, so proud of Avon for taking that initiative to become a part of something like that. I think it was really great for Avon to be represented as the company for women, to be at this event. Cancer affects everybody, male, female, young and old, but I think it was really great for Avon to be a part of that. So I'm counting it as a win. We did have an opportunity, like I said, to connect with the public and exchange contact information. So that was great. The other win that I'm celebrating this week was I got out. So part of the reason why my legs are burning was because I was not so smart and I did a book toss before the breast cancer walk. So I gave out over 300 brochures just in my neighborhood. It was a mixture of new brochures, some extra brochures that I had laying around the house. I still have a stack here. What I sometimes do is I'll keep a brochure on my desk so that when a customer calls, I can flip through. But then once the brochure ends, I will toss it. I waste nothing. Sometimes I find like extra bags in my purse or in my car or in my trunk. Not extra bags, extra brochures. So any brochures that I have laying around, I put together, I put them in a bag. I put in a recruiting flyer. So I like labels. I can label faster than I can stamp, and I don't have a lot of space, so it's easier for me to just put a label on and put the brochure aside. I usually will label maybe 30 at a time, put them aside, and then bag them, put them back in the boxes. And I could, work in a small space that way. I find when I'm stamping, I need to lay them all out, stamp, let them dry. I can't move as quickly, but everybody has their own process. Do what works for you. But just so in case anybody's new and they're watching this, I basically have this is a small mailing label, not an address label. This is like a 1.75 inches by 2 5/8. And all it says is to buy or join, contact me, Georgiana. My website, my phone number, and I always just like to put startavon.com, reference code Georgiana, so that if anybody does want to get started, they know that they can go to startavon.com and join and become a part of my team and become a rep and start making money. I just recently changed my labels. For those of you who follow the channel or have watched any of the other videos, I have to get back in touch with Jessica Z, but we had a small season of something we did called Avon Calling, where we would get in touch with other representatives, and there was an amazing rep. I mean, all of the representatives were amazing, but one rep in particular shared her story about how she puts make money, sell Avon stickers. Oh, what is her name? Why can't I remember? I'm really bad. I need sleep. I know her name. Hang on. Don't hate me. I am not evil. Oh man, it's gonna come to me at like 12 o'clock tonight. But she shared that idea with me. So I mean, that's one of the reasons I love how representatives get together and inspire each other and share ideas, because I was able to draw from her. I could see her face, but I just can't get the name. I'll let you know. But so she inspired me to do that, and I changed my label. So all I added was that little section that says make money, sell Avon. You could do it on a separate sticker, whatever you like. But I thought that was a great idea, and I appreciated her sharing that with us. So for those of you, again, just joining, in the beginning, what we do is we get together and we kind of share our wins for the week, things that you're celebrating, things that you've been working on and putting towards your business. So That's what happens in this time. Jennifer, of course, you are always invited. You're welcome. JA says that's how she was raised. She's working on getting new customers. She handed out brochures to a couple of her banker people. Awesome. So JA is giving an example of how she's working her business into her life. So when you go to the grocery store, the bank, the supermarket, the restaurant, laundromat, wherever you go, it's an opportunity to meet new people and share your brochure with others. But I am especially proud of Jessica because she shared, and I met her, so I know for a fact that she's a shy person. So when Jessica first got started, she shared that she was a little bit timid about sharing the opportunity, but she's coming out of her shell. She's working up her courage to share her business and to talk to other people. So she's sharing with the people at her bank. So I want to give a big bravo to JA for doing that and for sharing with us that she's doing that. Awesome for you, Jessica. Like we talked about in our training, it's really about promoting your business to everyone. So the more people you talk to, the more opportunity you have to find business partners and teammates, to find new customers and grow your business. But it's all gonna come down. JA, I am still shy, and I know people don't believe me when I say that, but I still get the butterflies in my stomach. So that is okay. It doesn't matter. I always quote a friend. Who was probably quoting someone else, but Ralph Castillo said, "Do it afraid," and that's sort of been my mantra. So I don't need to stop being afraid, and you don't have to stop being shy. But the most important thing is to overcome that fear and do it anyway. Okay, you're scared. Okay, you're shy. Doesn't matter. I get a little bit nervous every single Tuesday when I have to come on and do our trainings. I know you guys aren't gonna believe it. Milagros, welcome. Hey, Millie. Thank you for joining us. I know you guys aren't gonna believe it because I appear to be comfortable. Apparently, thank you guys for sharing that with me. But inside I get a little bit like, okay, I hope that this is well received, that I don't talk too fast, that I don't trip on my words too much. And you guys who have been watching, you've seen me do all of those things, and it's okay. What's important is that you keep going. So congratulations to you, JA. That's a huge win, and thank you for sharing with us. So let's see who else is sharing a win. Oh yes, thank you, JA. Still a win. We'll count it. So it looks like we're getting our brochures out, and that is really great because, as I mentioned to you guys often, this time of year is the time of year where you want to invest in extra brochures, invest in promoting your business, get your brochures out, especially now. I know it's like we still have 2 months to go before the actual holiday season, but people are really starting to buy their holiday gifts. A lot of people stock up on gifts and home decorations from like end of August now, very much so in October, a lot in November. So if you can get your brochures out into your community, start making contacts with potential customers, ask your current customers for referrals, ask them to share your brochure, your website on their social media. It's a really great time to start planting the seeds. I know it's fall, we normally harvesting, but in the business world, it's a great time to plant those seeds because once November, Black Friday, Christmas roll around, Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa. Forgive me if I'm missing any holidays. I'm just going to say the holidays. Once the holidays roll around, then people will kind of already have you in the back of their mind as their Avon representative. So they'll be able to remember about the light up Christmas tree that they saw that you had. Campaign 24 has some really great, matter of fact, Campaign 23 already has some really great holiday stuff. So the holidays have officially started. I know we're not mentally in that mode, but now is definitely the time. Hey, Angela, thank you for joining. Now is the time to get the promotion for your business out there. Milagros also shares another great thing. So she's selling a lot of baskets already, guys. So make your baskets, put your products together. Milagros also has some really great videos on some baskets that she's done. If you look into our playlist, on my channel, you see some of the baskets that I did, and we both show you some really quick and easy ways to put together a basket. Don't be afraid of making baskets. You can make them very simple. They don't have to be a huge investment. I love how Millie uses the plates as the base for her baskets. I love this girl loves a Dollar Tree and everything inside. So you can make really affordable baskets that are just as beautiful for your customers. You're providing great products, you're providing an amazing service, and they know that they get to support, a friend or family member with their business. So oh, my chat stopped scrolling. Okay, Jennifer has another one. Jennifer said she just created her Facebook page and she's having a really good amount of interest already. Kudos to you, Jennifer. So, Jennifer actually just got started. No, Jennifer, there is no such thing as a baby win. Everything is a huge win, and we come here to celebrate because those are the things that are important. Jennifer actually just got started with her business. Also a win, Jennifer. Congratulations. And everyone, please join me in welcoming Jennifer and making her feel at home. But no such thing as baby wins. That is a huge win, and that's what we're doing. We're promoting our business, whether it's social media or brochures. We're planting the seeds, we're growing our business, and that's what we do here. So JW, hey JW, welcome. JW, I've been meaning to ask you about how your event went. JW, Jessica W. We got a lot of Jessicas here, so I just abbreviate everybody. But Jessica said that her win was going to Philadelphia and getting some new leads. So Jessica, I'm gonna give a little bit of your backstory. I'm gonna rewind a little bit, but Jessica doesn't drive. I hope you don't mind me sharing this, Jessica. But Jessica doesn't drive. Jessica lives in Maryland. Jessica took a train to to Philadelphia for an event. So a lot of times, either maybe you guys, maybe you're feeling like, oh my gosh, I don't know if I could do this business. I don't drive. I don't have any means of transportation. Jessica has been killing it in her business. She's one of the top sellers on our team. She's rapidly building her own team and on her way to success as a leader. And this is a great example of her determination and her commitment to her business. She took a train from Maryland to Philly for an event so that she could build her business. And her upline is working with her, but it just goes to show you it doesn't matter what you have or don't have. Don't focus on those things, guys. The most important thing is what your goal is. That's why I always emphasize to you guys, what is your why is it that you're here? What are you focused on? What do you want to get out of this business? What do you want to see happen in your life and in your business to consider this a success? Because those are the things that are going to drive you. You know the saying, right? Everybody knows the saying that where there's a will, there's a way, right? So where there's a will, you will find a way, whether you don't have a car or you do have a car, whether you live in a state where people are super far from you. By the way, a lot of our top sellers live in no man's land, like the Sticks, Cow Village, and they are still top sellers. I also live in a big city and I have a lot of representatives here in my area. Matter of fact, JA is a representative. There are 100 representatives in her area. And look, JA is still finding customers. JA is distributing her books. She shared with us last week that she got a new customer who came in with one of her brochures from one of her sharing activities. So if you're determined to get somewhere, you will get there. But if you're determined to find excuses, there will always be a multitude of excuses. Oh, I live in the sticks. Oh, I live in the city. Oh, I have a car. Oh, I don't have a car. Oh, I'm too old. I'm too young. I'm uneducated. Everything. And I've been in this business and I'm thankful for this. And one of the reasons I say to you guys, go to RepFest, go to the meetings and the rallies, meet other representatives, is because you will draw inspiration from it. I have met people who came to this country, didn't know a single person, didn't speak the language, and built successful businesses. I've met people with disabilities, speech impediments, learning impediments, and still able to become huge successes with their business. So it's really what you want to get out of it. So Jessica really inspired me when she shared that. I was like, I'm sorry, you're doing what? And she snapped a picture and shared with our team of herself on the train. So she really did it. And I'm glad to see that she got some new teammates, some new leads, made new contacts, practiced promoting her business, and is really working it. So kudos to you, JW, and to anyone else. When I started this business, I was 17. First job, didn't have a car either. I took the bus. I drove a Metro card for many, many years as a representative when I first started. And I hitched rides if I needed events, if I needed to go to events with like Avon boxes and tables. If I needed to prospect, I bought a teeny tiny table. Matter of fact, since you guys are here, I'm just going to digress for a minute. But I don't know if you're going to be able to see this, but I still have it. I sometimes share with my teammates my story behind this table, but this teeny table, it's not so teeny, it's relatively teeny. This was my first recruiting table. Can you guys see how small it is? It's like maybe 36 by 18 inches. So I got this size table because I could throw in a shopping cart with a box of brochures at the bottom for stability and jump on the bus and go about my events. So don't let anything stop you. Don't let anything that anybody says stop you. You can do this if you are determined to. You will find a way. And that is actually a huge segue. So thank you, JW, for setting that up for me. Not coordinated at all. She had no idea I was going to throw her under the bus. But I just love to celebrate you guys. I know, you know, that's why we're here. We come together, we share our wins, and everything that you guys are doing, don't feel like it's not a big win, okay? No such thing as a small win. Everything is celebrated here. Jennifer, we celebrate every win because you never know. Something that you think is a small win could be really a huge inspiration for someone else. So don't be afraid to share, guys. Christina also shared the win. She said, oh, Christina had another event. So she had pretty good sales. She really did because she's one of the top sellers on our team. She had a pretty good sales event from the other weekend. She got leads for 4 more events coming up and the opportunity to do treat bags for a local church for Halloween handout. Awesome. So you guys are making me so proud. Whether you're on my actual team or honorary ants team members, I am super proud of the things that you guys are celebrating because you're gaining that momentum. You're starting to see that by taking the initial action steps, you're gonna create momentum in your business. Our VP of sales in the Northeast, Craig Cushman, says you have to have massive momentum. But how do you create that momentum? It has to start with you. If you're going to have success, you need to have the momentum. The momentum starts with you getting up and doing things. And I've actually been sharing well all of the videos that I do here with you guys, everything that I share is a part I'm going through my own personal development and I share that with you guys to inspire you. But one of the things that I've been listening to is I always listen to personal development. You can look up Tony Robbins, Milagros likes, Darren Hardy. Milagros also has a gentleman that she listens to and she always shares his story. Wes, what is his name? Millie, if you could just share his name. But you just posted a really great video from him the other day. I want to say Wes something or Neil. That sounds like it. But Zig Ziglar. There's so many out there. If you even just Google personal development, you'll find a ton of stuff. So when I'm at work, I listen to personal development on YouTube. And Earl Nightingale is another great one. Earl Nightingale is good. But I was listening to this personal development and it was saying that you need to just if you're finding yourself in a rut, if you're finding yourself not having success, if you want to create change, you have to do something. Whether it's making the phone calls, making the contacts, whatever it is, you just need to do it. And in our training last week, we were talking about the pros. Serena Williams. Let's see who else. I don't know sports names. I don't really follow sports, but I'm trying to think of people that everyone would know. Michael Phelps. Everybody knows Michael Phelps. Michael Jordan. I don't care where you're from, Michael Jordan. So these top stars in sports who are at the top of their game, winning gold medals, dominating the field. At the end of the day, or rather at the beginning of the day, before they even start their day, a lot of them, John Maxwell is another great one. Thank you, Angela. All of them, what do? They practice. They get up, they do the same thing over and over again so that they could become great at it. And for Serena Williams, it's hitting a tennis ball. It's the same, it's boring. What's so special about it? It's the same. They've got a couple of different swings, but I'm pretty sure she knows all of them. But she hits tennis balls. There's nothing exciting about it. She's not saving life. She's hitting tennis balls. But when she gets out there in a match and she's dominating the profession, both Serena and Venus, it's because they took the time to just, hit that ball for maybe a few hours, every day of the week, practicing their swing. It's the same couple of swings, different ways of doing it, but at the end of the day, it's just hitting a tennis ball. But that is what creates the awesomeness that they are, the basics, the practice. It's the things that happens behind the scenes. So You guys are creating that momentum now by sharing a brochure with your bank teller, by starting your online website, by promoting it on social media, by taking a train to go somewhere new to find new customers and practice speaking to new people and work with your team leader. Everything that you guys are doing is building your business. By holding one event, it opens the doors for other events, it gives you new connections. And I always say, no activity that you do is a failure. If you go out and you practice, even if you don't get any recruits, even if you don't get any customers, you got the practice, you boosted your own skills, you refined and honed your own spiel, the things that you say. So it's all a huge win. So kudos to you guys for working on all of that. And with our new incentive for Los Cabos, our trip to Los Cabos, Mexico, all of those skills are going to play in helping you get to your goal. So I hope you guys all watched the video from last week. If you haven't, it should be up on my channel. But watch the video from last week. I shared our tip for the week, which was our spreadsheet for tracking. You want to get your tracking goals on there. You want to plan for Los Cabos, Mexico, because if you don't start planning for it now, if you don't start putting in the action steps for it now, you're not gonna you're going to be missing out on an opportunity. I'm not going to say that, not starting right now, you're going to miss it, because that's not true. You can join within the campaign before. I've seen it happen and still make the trip. But you want to give yourself that heads up, because Avon has created a really great opportunity for us to start earning points now. And it's a great chance for you to start building your points for the trip. So for those of you who are new, every year for the last this is the fourth year. 2019 will be the fourth year. Avon has had a trip that every single representative can earn. We've done Bermuda, Bahamas, not in that order. I always mix them up. Bear with me. No, it was Atlantis, Bahamas. We've done Bermuda. Where was the other place that we went? Oh my gosh. No, sorry. This is the third year. Los Cabos is going to be the third trip. I feel like I'm missing one, but I'm not. I had earned a trip to Tahiti, but that was not an incentive. That's different. But these are trips. They're all expenses paid. Avon pays for you to go. And as I said, every Tuesday night we're going to be doing our tracking and sharing our wins. So all the things that you guys shared are things that are helping you get closer to your goals for this incentive. So every week there should be something that you did. Remember, you want to do the action steps. You need to create that momentum. You need to do something to grow your business. Practice the power of 5. Talk to 5 people a day, or 25 on the weekend. That was me when I was working and going to school. I couldn't do one day. I didn't have a day off to do the power of 5. I did it all on Saturday. I talked to at least 25 people on Saturday. And then I started to work it out where I could talk to 2 people on the way to work, 1 person during my lunch break, and 2 people on my way back home from work. So, work it out according to your schedule. But the key is to just be talking to people, promoting your business, getting your business out there. Jennifer, okay, you said confidence is definitely not your strong point. I get it. I am totally there. For those of you who know, wow, okay, it was a lot of years ago. But in 2016, I was featured in one of the Avon commercials, and the confidence that I have in my life that allows me to stand up in front of people and talk to strangers, it came from my Avon business. So Jennifer, don't worry, we will help you with that. I am living proof of that. JA is sharing that she is too, and she's growing. So the point is to stay at it. For building your confidence, I would say my favorite tip, and you're not going to like it at first, but it works, is going to be practicing. And I actually see, look, JA is saying the same thing. Jennifer, honestly, practicing and working with, oh, thank you. Stop. And yes, definitely Jessica Woods. Practice. You kind of have to step out of the fear of what people think. I'll tell you the same thing I said to JA. You're not going to burst into a ball of flame. And the faster you realize that, the easier it'll get and the better you'll be at it. Initially, I don't know what it is for you, but Wayne Dyer, another person, but that's not who. Oh, Les Brown. Les Brown was the one that I was thinking about it. But yes, Wayne Dyer is another great one. Another great motivational speaker, someone to listen to for personal development. But the more you realize that what people think about you doesn't matter. Somebody shared a post the other day. It said, unless you pay my bills, your opinion doesn't count. That was basically what they were saying. The faster you realize that, the better for you. I was afraid of hearing no. I don't know what it was, the idea of rejection. Like, it just would stop me in my tracks. I mean, I was already a shy person. My sister reminded me that I couldn't even go into the supermarket for anything by myself. I needed company. I didn't want to go anywhere by myself. I didn't want to have to talk to people. I had translators, my mom and my sister, everybody else would do the talking. I didn't want to talk to anybody. And now you can't shut me up. But just realize that, other people's opinion doesn't matter. At the end of the day, when you accomplish all the things that you set out to do, and those people see you, the same people who told you, oh, you'll never do that, you'll never get anywhere, you never accomplish anything, the same people who didn't support you, the same people who said no to you, they'll come around like, oh yeah, I see you're doing this. How cool is that? Or, oh, I wish I could do that too. And you're just like, wait, what? So just focus on your goals. Let your goals drive you. If you are determined to reach your goals, everything else will just sort of fade into gray and you'll be able to plow ahead and move forward. But I realized that at the end of the day, when my bills were due, none of those people were coming to help me out. I realized that when we were doing events on the street and having to talk to strangers, after that person passed, I never saw them again. So if I asked them if they wanted to try a new Avon product and they said no, they would go about their business and I would go about my life. Half the time we never see each other again, so what did it matter? That was the first thing I noticed. The second thing that I noticed was I noticed that the impact that sharing the opportunity had. Someone shared the Avon opportunity with my sister. She brought the brochures home. She shared the opportunity with me. I joined, and this business changed my life. I can say that honestly without a shadow of a doubt. I've been able to leave the country, pay off my debt, become a person that feels comfortable talking. Well, not really feels comfortable, but is capable of public speaking, and all of that became a part of my life because of my Avon business. And I realized what this business has done for me, and I want to do that for other people. So if I have to go through 10 no's to find that one woman or that one man who this opportunity could change their life, then it's worth it to me, So again, it's about your why and what drives you. Yes, Angela shares consistency is key. Christina shares some really great tips. So Christina says if you're looking for activities and events, check Facebook. And maybe when at the event, ask the other people at the event for other events coming up. Those are really great tips, Chris. Thank you for sharing. And that's how I found a lot of my events. You go to events, you set up a tent, there's a vendor on the left and a vendor on the right. Make friends. Talk to them about where they're going next. A lot of these people in other businesses are doing a lot of events. A lot of them have a circuit that they do every year. And a lot of them are more than willing to share ideas with you. So that's a really great tip, Chris. Thank you for sharing. Milagros also says that events are great ways to build confidence and talk to people and work on overcoming your objections. People, yes, when you're doing an event, you got something set up, whether it's a tent or a table with Avon signs up, people are coming over to you. So it eliminates that initial fear of approaching a stranger in the street. I also love to do table events, even if I'm not at a fair or like a big event. I like to set up my table. Usually in front of restaurants because then I could go inside and eat. I love to eat, yes. But you can partner with a hair salon, a nail salon, a beauty supply store, or a barber shop. You could partner with other businesses because you're offering a service. You're offering products and recognition, a raffle for their customers. You could do it as a customer appreciation event. Partner with them, set up a table out in the front, offer them the ability for you to, or offer them the option for you to come and create a customer service event for their customers, to celebrate their customers for Thanksgiving, for fall, for Christmas. You do your raffles, you give away your samples, you collect information, you build your customer base. I love a table event, but I like them because that's what I started with, and I could stand by the table, put my signs out, people would see, and they would come. So it's a great way for you to just kind of practice what you're saying. And you're going to mess up in the beginning. You're going to trip over your words. You're going to be nervous. But as you keep saying the same thing over and over again, I can usually rattle off a spiel, depending on the person and the situation, without even thinking about what I'm saying. But usually it's going to boil down to your own excitement. So again, What is your why? Why did you join this business? Why Avon? Why do you love this company? Why do you love the products? What's got you excited? And then the other person, how can this business or how can this product help them? What do you have to offer that can be of service to them? And then the other thing that I would say for confidence is to practice. Practice with me, practice with your teammates. JA is like, but role playing. We were talking about this earlier, and JA said she was nervous about role playing, but it helps because you could kind of get it out of your system. And scripts, Avon has some really great scripts that you can use of, a formatted list of things that you can say. Check out Avon University. You'll find some really great things there. So that's a good question. Can multiple representatives sell at the same event? I think when Christina was saying other reps, I think she was talking about representatives from other companies, so the other people at your event. But Avon doesn't have any restriction on how many representatives are at events. Usually, if I hear that there's another rep there, if they have let's say they're selling like loose products, I'll try not to do the same thing that they're doing. I'll do maybe just focus on toys or ready-made baskets, because you don't want to be competing for sales of the same products. So I try to respect the other representative by not having the same exact things. If I know it's a small event, then I'll just say, okay, there's a rep here. It wouldn't make sense for us both to be at this event. That's her event. If it's a huge event where I know there are going to be a ton of people, then I'll say, okay, well, I won't have the same stuff that she has, or he or she has, the other representative has. But no, Avon doesn't give any restriction on how many reps can be at an event. Millie says she loves Les Brown. Yeah, I know you always post from him, so I was trying to remember. Yeah, awesome. Okay, great. So Millie says always ask to make sure that you're the only Avon lady unless it's a very large event. Agreed. So I guess we're on the same page for that. Hey, Maria, thank you for joining. You got it. Great. So let me get into our talk because I'm halfway through. But thank you guys all for sharing. And you guys see how motivating it is when you guys share. I always say to you guys, I know I'm the one here doing the talking, but you definitely want that conversation to happen in the chat box too, because sometimes it means a lot more to another representative to hear an idea from a fellow rep. That, I mean, I know I'm a fellow rep, but you might feel like, oh, okay, well, Georgiana's the speaker, so I'm too far removed away from what she's saying. You might find more encouragement from another rep. So don't feel like your wins are too big or too small, or don't feel embarrassed to share. Don't feel afraid. You're among family here. I always say, if anybody makes fun of anybody, I will come for them. This is not the place for that. Maria also has some great tips for finding events. She says churches are a great place to start an event, especially during fall season. Yes, churches, schools, and by churches we mean like religious organizations, whether it's a temple or a mosque. But schools are another great place to find activities. And also remember, Avon fundraising is coming to our website. So start connecting with any organization that you know that needs funds, or that maybe you're excited about, so that you can help them raise money for a great cause. So thank you, Maria. Thanks for joining. So tonight, as I mentioned, today is actually the first day of the Los Cabos incentive. It doesn't officially start until campaign 1 of 2019, but Avon added like an earlier portion to the incentive. So those of us who are representatives right now can get a head start. So they have this, I think it's like a Los Vamos, Vamonos, or something along those lines. But essentially, it's like an early start to the incentive. So they've given us different ways for us to earn points to put towards the incentives. Yes, great point. Maria says employment agencies. I didn't think about that. That is a really great idea too. Thank you for sharing. So for the Los Cabos incentive, Avon is doing a trip, again, all expenses paid, to Mexico. If you haven't, please go back and check out my other 2 videos, because in my first video, I break down the incentive. In my second video, I break down our tracking sheet. And today I kind of wanted to just come and step all the way back, because I realized I was kind of losing a couple of you guys along the way. And I wanted to make sure that everybody was on board for this incentive for a couple of reasons. One, because it's free, guys. Avon is paying for it. Kimberly J says, if it's free, it's for me. Yes, that is the mentality you want to have. But also because earning an incentive, it puts you in a different mindset of your business. It makes it feel real to you, not just to you, but to the people who you were watching. I don't know if you guys can see it, but this black thing here is a TV. I had been working my business for years. My first incentive that I earned was a 30 and 30 recruits in 30 days incentive. It was for like a dinner cruise, but I didn't even do it for the dinner. They said that at that time you would pay, I think it was like $10 or $25 for our group meetings. So they would rent a hall and they would divide up the costs. Everybody would kind of pitch in. And one of the prizes for the incentive was that your cost of the incentive would be covered. So we have these rallies every quarter, so 4 times a year. I did the math real quick. I wasn't making a lot of money at the time. I don't think I was working at all at the time. I was working part-time at that time. But I said, okay, $25 4 times a year, that's a $100 savings for me. I'm going to earn this incentive. So my first incentive was for $100 savings. And then this dinner cruise. But it turned out that I misunderstood something. It was like VIP access, but no, I think you did get your $100, but it wasn't for the whole year. It was like for the rest of the year. So I had like maybe 2 events. So I ended up saving maybe $50 and getting the cruise. So that's why I always go through all the incentives with you guys in detail to make sure you understand the full scope of the incentive, because that's really important. But that was my first incentive. That was all I wanted. A couple to save some money and to get this dinner cruise. My second incentive was a coffee machine. If you guys haven't noticed, I'm not wired right now. I only had 1 cup of coffee today. This is me on the regular. So imagine me back in the day when I used to drink like 3 and 4 cups of coffee. I love coffee, and I had wanted a Keurig coffee machine for a long time. It was on my birthday list. Nobody got it for me. It was on my Christmas list. Nobody got it for me. And I was like, okay, I'll just save up and I'll get one for myself. And money was tight, so I couldn't really save for it. But then Avon came with this incentive and they offered this Keurig coffee machine. And I said to Lisa H on our team, I want that coffee machine. We're both coffee drinkers. We were like, we need to earn that Keurig. Jessica says this is the natural energy. I didn't take any natural energy today. This is just me. I got sleep last night, so I didn't do the natural energy. But yes, I do love the natural energy and the metabolism boost. But I sound the same. I don't sound any extra energetic on the Aspira, right? But with this Keurig coffee machine, I decided that I really wanted it. I never really earned a Avon incentive prior to that. I didn't really know how to go about it, but I made a plan. I talked to my district manager about it. I said, okay, I want to get this. I really want to. And I worked my butt off. It was my first incentive. I earned it. So now my family was kind of like, oh, okay, we see stuff coming in for Avon. After that was this TV. I remember the day the box came, big, whatever size TV. The box comes, it's sitting outside. My dad is like, what is this? You guys buying TV? Where is this money coming from? And I was like, I want it from Avon. And all of a sudden, the atmosphere towards, the emotions toward my Avon business changed. On one hand, it was sort of like, okay, you're taking this Avon thing a little bit too seriously. You should be focusing on your schoolwork. And I was like, but I'm getting stuff, so I'm going to continue to get stuff. But on the other hand, it was like, okay, we're actually starting to see the rewards coming in for this Avon thing, this Avon thing that Georgiana's been working on. Other people now were starting to see the fruits of my labor. After that, I earned an iPad. And for the iPad incentive is when my sister, who I mentioned to you guys was the reason I joined this business in the first place, that was when my sister came on board with Avon, because she was like, okay, I see Georgie earning stuff. I want to earn stuff too. She joined and she earned her iPad. So we both earned iPads that year. So not just for you, but for other people to see the potential for success in your business. It's a really great idea to go for incentives, but You have to go into it with the right mindset, which is why I want to talk about our topic of discussion in the 15 minutes that we have left. I will try to be fast. I am addicted. Or me? Who's addicted? Yes, I am addicted to natural energy, the protein powder, and the PM Restore. I struggle with my skin. I'm still breaking out, but that's because I won't give up chocolate. But yeah, I do love everything. Um, Maria, I would recommend call Avon customer service. It might just be a short on that. The Avon Aspira for Kids just released, so I know everybody made a run on it. It might just temporarily be short. Give them a call and see. Do you have samples for the others you might want to try without the cost? For samples for the protein powder, what I do is I just buy the individual packets and I use those as samples. They're a little bit pricey, so it is cheaper to buy the tub and just do testers. When I do events, I take the Aspira shaker bottle, I put in a little bit of protein powder, and I put it in little shot glasses that I got from the Dollar Tree. I put it in little shot glasses and I use those as testers for my events. Yes, good point, JA. Remember, guys, as new representatives, you guys can earn iPads too. So the iPad incentive for new representatives is running parallel to the Los Cabos incentive for Mexico. So you can earn both the iPad and the Los Cabos trip. My first incentive, I told you guys, I did for like $50. Do it for the trip and the iPad. Um, so let me talk to you guys a little bit. I'm going to read off of here because I don't want to lose my train of thought. And you guys know that I do have squirrel brain. I usually don't read, but I was sort of thinking, yes, double. Double dip, guys. Avon is giving you permission to. You can actually triple dip. Look at me, squirrel brain again. You can actually triple dip though, because as a new rep, you're competing in the Kickstart program, the iPad incentive, and the Los Cabos incentive. So there are actually three. Nope, I'm lying. There are four, because we also have the rake in the cash incentive. So Avon is giving away 25,000. Sorry, well, four people are going to win $25,000 in cash, but I think they're giving away a total of like 150 or 125,000 in cash. So there are actually four incentives going on. I mean, talk about it being a really great time to join Avon, right? Am I right or am I right? But Jennifer, I'm telling you, we need to talk. You are very right. So let me just read this off to you. So these were kind of the thoughts that I jotted down the other day, because I saw something. I told you guys I'm like I need to see things from like three different places before it starts to register in my brain. And I was kind of going over this week, and I was talking to some of the members of my team and hearing your feedback on the incentive. And I know there was a little bit of a resistance, sort of like a fear of, should I go for this? I don't know if I can make it. I've never earned an incentive before. And I kind of felt like you guys were telling me, yeah, I'm going to go for it, Georgie, just because you thought that's what Georgie wanted to hear. But remember, first and foremost, this is always your business. So be honest with me. We can always work through objections and any trepidation that you might have, but you got to be honest with me and let me know what you're thinking. But the topic of discussion for tonight is going to be, do you really believe? So I want to take a little bit of a step back. A few days ago, I saw a post online, and probably on Instagram, but it was one of those little quotes that said, I didn't wake up today to be mediocre. And I screenshot it and I saved it because it just kind of resonated with me. You know, it's become so easy to go through each day just doing the same thing over and over again, not really stepping out of your comfort zone. And it does take a lot of effort to take a step back, look around you and say, you know what? I don't want to do what everybody's doing just because everybody else is doing it. I want to step out and I want to do something different. So I kind of wrote down here, you know, let's stop being content with being mediocre and start striving for outstanding. Like, could you imagine what the world would be if people stopped just kind of walking, matter of fact, walking around like this all day, you know, just going about their business, and started to look for opportunities to be outstanding, you know? And imagine what outstanding, it looks different for everybody, but basically it's just getting out of the daily grind. Sometimes you watch commercials. This is a really great commercial with everybody. They're in these bland gray suits. They're driving the same cars, these, you know, like cereal box cars. And then somebody comes tearing down the road in this new, beautiful, flashy, brand new car. I don't know what car it is. The point of the car doesn't matter. What resonated with me was commercial. sometimes we get in this vibe where we're just like plodding along, being mediocre because we're so afraid of sort of shaking the waters, disturbing the stillness of the water. And I know for me, earlier you guys were sharing like the discussion about confidence and how to overcome that. For me, I find I'm skipping ahead. I'm squirrel braining already, but I'll be honest with you guys. Okay, wait, no, I picked this up to sit, and then I got distracted. But I find for me, and again, I always tell you guys here in this chat, it's not just me wanting you guys to be transparent with each other and with me, but it's two-way street. I'm 100% transparent with you guys. I find that for myself, one of my biggest obstacles to life and success is my fear of what other people think. I've kind of conditioned myself over the years. Like, I want it to be, I'll come out of my comfort zone if I feel like someone is being attacked. My family will say that. If I want to defend someone, so you guys on my team, my Avon family, I'll come out of my shell to defend you guys or to help you guys. Or if I see that something isn't being done to its full potential, the OCD in me will step forward to get it done. I don't like I don't like to be the life of the party, but I will be if it means that my friend's party won't be dull. I'll be the person on the dance floor so that nobody else, so that you don't have an empty dance floor. I'll be that. I'll do that, but I prefer to be in the background. And I found that I tended to stay quiet and not say anything because I was so afraid of attracting attention to myself. So sometimes you guys see me doing things, it's subconsciously me trying to break out of that mold of um, my knowing that I just want to be in the background. But I know that by breaking out of your comfort zone and by testing yourself and encouraging yourself to do different things, that's when growth happens. So that's where breakthrough happens, and that's where inspiration for others is born. Me doing this live stream, it wasn't because I was comfortable talking to people, but I knew the value that hearing other representatives share their stories had. You guys shared how much you learned, that even just talking things out had a great impact. So I said, okay, well, I'm scared, but I'm going to do it anyway because I know that somebody might watch this and feel inspired. I know how inspired I was watching Molly and Lisa and Milagros and Donovan Mitchell, watching other people share their stories over the years. So, knowing that what you do inspires other people is in and of itself one of the reasons that you want to be encouraged to be outstanding and do something different. Think about all the stories that motivate and inspire you. So take a second, guys, and share in the chat box, like, who are the people that you have heard of or that you've seen, be it in your life or like a celebrity that had a story that inspired you. And think about the kinds of stories that you hear. They're not the stories of people who are being content, sitting at home, who didn't have any goals, who kept saying and doing the same exact things every day, the same way that everybody else was doing it, doing the exact things the same way for the same exact results. There are people who did something differently, right? There are people who, Millie said, you're, um, there's stories of people who did things differently, people who worked towards breaking out of monotony, people who did the extraordinary. I shared a couple of names earlier, but share with me in the chat box. When you guys think about success stories, stories of inspiration, stories of motivation, the people whose stories kind of get you fired up inside and drive you. Like, if you had to tell a friend about a success story, like, what are the names that you bring forward and you call to mind? Share some of the ones that you could think of in the chat box. Are they like the Ralph Crandons? Are they the kind of people who just didn't do anything consistently, who always had some brand new harebrained scheme that they were working on, some get rich quick scheme that they were doing overnight to just pop up? Like, what are the kinds of people that you think about? Because I find that they're usually people that did something outstanding, extraordinary, and different, something that made them stand out from the norm, right? So whatever it was that they did, it's usually because, not because it was easy. Usually it's hard to break out of the norm. Usually your friends and your family are like, you're crazy. What are you doing? Don't do that. That's a bad idea. But they do it anyway. Why? Because they believe it's worth it. So I want you guys to also ask yourselves, do you believe that this is worth it? Do you believe that your business is worth it? Do you believe that earning this trip to Los Cabos, Mexico is worth it? Do you believe earning the iPad is worth it? How far does your belief window extend? Do you really believe? Um, and be honest with yourself, because if you really don't believe it, you're going to find yourself doing the same things over and over again. You're going to find yourself just falling back into the mode of monotony, because when you hit that resistance of trying to rise up and to do something differently, the minute you hit an obstacle, the minute you hit someone who tells you no, or who says, no, that's a bad idea, you shouldn't do that, you're just going to shrink back and say, you know what? This is too hard. I don't really care that much about it. Like, have you ever decided, the other day, what was it that I wanted? I wanted cookies, as usual. I wanted cookies, but it was a rainy day, it was a cold day, and I was exhausted because I just had prepared some brochures. I didn't get a lot of sleep. And I was like, you know what? I don't really want those cookies. I was like, it's not that important. No me importa. I'm done. I'm going back home. I'm not, that's one extra stop that I have to make just from some cookies. Not worth it. I'm not doing it. And I went home. Why? Because the dream, the desire of cookies wasn't enough to motivate me. And it's going to be the same thing with your business. If you don't really believe in it, then you're not going to do anything differently tomorrow. So another thing, so that was the first thing that triggered that thought in my mind of how important it is to believe. The second thing was, this past Sunday at the breast cancer walk, I was talking to one of the doctors at the event. I met this woman, an amazing, phenomenal woman, but she shared this story about going to a meeting. So she's a cancer doctor. She went to this meeting that was about finding a cure, and everybody there was talking about all kinds of stuff that they were doing, like the basically like the atmosphere of their hospitals, but nobody was talking about a cure. And she stood up and she was like, guys, what about the cure? And everybody kind of just looked at her and laughed, like, there's no cure for cancer. What are you talking about? We're nowhere near a cure. Yes, this is a convention to talk about finding a cure, but we're so far away from a cure. We want to talk about other things. But she was like, guys, we are here to find a cure. Our job as doctors is to find this cure. And as she was sharing this, she was sharing about her bravado and standing up in this room full of doctors, cancer doctors, who were just talking about everything but the cure, and asking for a cure, and kind of being ridiculed a little bit because people are like, cure? There's no cure. But it really got me thinking, like, in their minds, not every doctor, but at that event, they were kind of just like, well, there isn't a cure right now. There's probably not going to be a cure for many, many years. But their belief window affects the change. So if you don't really believe that it's possible to work towards a cure in the next year or next 2 years, you're not going to. You're going to keep having these meetings where you talk about everything else but finding a cure, because you feel like there's not really a cure on the horizon anytime soon. But the moment that mindset changes, where it's like, no, we're getting closer, we're starting to see some breakthroughs, and that comes from people going outside of their box and sharing their stories, and despite other doctors saying, okay, no, we're not anywhere near a cure, you could take a break on that, we're going to talk and have some fun right now. But the people like her who are just like, no, our job is to find a cure. We need to find this cure within the next year, the next 2 years. Forget 5 and 10 year plans. We need to start working on this now. Maybe they're not close to finding a cure, but they won't be unless their mindset is in that place. So as she was talking, that's what I was thinking. And I was like, if you don't believe it's possible to work towards your dreams, work towards a cure, work towards affecting change in your community, then you're not going to make any progress. It starts up here. The impossible will always stay impossible until you change that. It begins, like Michael Jackson says, with the man in the mirror. You have to make that decision in your life to say, you know what? Maybe I've never done this before. Maybe no one in my family has ever done this before. Maybe I don't know anybody who's done this before, but I'm going to do it. Or maybe I don't really know how I'm going to do this. Like JW doesn't have a car. She's like, I don't know how I'm getting to Philly, but I'm going to get there. it started with her up here. So for those of you guys, have you guys shared your successful people in the box? I want to see some names, guys. Who are you thinking? Okay. While you guys share that, I'll share some of the people that I was thinking about. So, oh, think about not just successful people. I see Lisa Scola is one, not just successful representatives, but overall successful business people, successful entrepreneurs, successful athletes, actors, anybody that you think of who's successful, put their name in the chat box and I'll read off some of the ones that I have. Like I said, they're usually people who did something revolutionary, people who had an idea, people who persevered. For me, it's usually people who persevere until they made their dream a reality. Not the Ralph Crandons, not the get rich quick overnight people, not the people who are hopping from job to opportunity to, oh, this is going to be the next big thing. No, 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 no. That was the next big thing last week. This is going to, we all have that person in our life. Usually they're trying to get me to join their business because they're like, oh, you're so good at Avon. You should do this. And I'm like, I'm good at Avon because I love Avon. And you in 2 weeks are going to be on to something different anyway. I can't. But usually for me, it's not those people. It's the people like Steve Jobs. Yes, that was someone that I had on my list. Who else, guys? Who else are you thinking about? I was thinking Oprah. She's another person. J.K. Rowling. Did you guys know how many times J.K. Rowling is the author of Harry Potter? I mean, look at how huge Harry Potter is. I mean, books, multi-series of books, theme parks, movies. I think they even have like a Harry Potter on Broadway. They just did another revival of the Harry Potter universe. There's another show or movie that they have going on. Do you guys know how many times J.K. Rowling's story was turned down by publishers? Google it. Do you guys know how many times people like Steve Jobs, we actually, one of the co-founders of Microsoft just passed away today, I believe, too. The Microsoft guys, if I understand it correctly, they had a day job and they were building Microsoft in their garage in the evenings and weekends. You could probably imagine their friends and family saying, what are you doing here? You know, after your full day of work, you're in your garage working again. Why don't you go to the movies? Why don't you hang out? Like, what are you wasting your time on? Sound familiar? Maria, Chef Marcella, I can't say that. Villa Dolid? Chef Marcella. Chef Marcella is someone that Maria finds an inspiring story from. So these are all people who, I'm sure of it, got rejection in their field, for their dreams, for their actions or activities. I know people, Michael Phelps. Yes, it's Michael Phelps. Michael Phelps, I've heard that his training regimen is like twice as rough as the other Olympic swimmers. And the other Olympic swimmers, yes, thank you, Jennifer. Elon Musk is another one. As far as I'm concerned, still a little bit out there, but yes, good example. He's still being criticized and ridiculed for his ideas. I just did it. But Michael Phelps, other Olympic swimmers, other athletes, other successes in his field were like, what are you doing? You're crazy. You're going to hurt yourself. You're going to, strain yourself. You're doing twice as much of the work. You're going to mess yourself up. What are you doing to your body, man? Bad idea. But he did it anyway. And he's like, what, one of the only Olympic swimmers to take home 7 gold medals in one Olympics. Look at how many the boy has more gold medals than I could count. What is he up to now? 12, 13 from the last probably 3 Olympics. Is probably way more than that. Probably more than 12 or 13. 12 or 13 is probably what he gained at the last Olympics that I watched. But I mean, he's got so many huge gold medals, so many huge Olympic wins. He's got a couple of silvers in there that I'm probably not counting either. He was told, bad idea, guy. Don't do that. Don't step out of the norm. Don't do crazy things. Just, it's easier to do what everybody else is telling you. But he believed that what he was doing would make him the best. His mindset was set on not being mediocre, which brings us back to our original thought, not being mediocre, but being outstanding. And he is now. Maria, Gerald Ford. Yeah, I know Ford's story. Ford had an amazing come up as a kid, having suffered with poverty and having to work at a very young age. He was not born with a silver spoon in his mouth, but he worked. He put in the work. And even after he built his business, there were moments where people, his investors, his co-workers, his associates told him, don't do that, do this. And he would do what he felt was right. And it would be a good idea. And he got ahead that way. So, guys, these are all people who hit obstacles and setbacks. But what was the difference? They had their ideas ridiculed and rejected. They were made fun of, but they believed. They put years. How many? I know nobody here watching this stream is one of these people, but how many people do we know who get started with their business within 2 weeks, 6 months, 3 months, a year? They do it and they quit. Oh, no, that Avon thing doesn't work. Oh, no, you can't make any money with that. Oh, no, nobody wants to buy. You can't find any customers. Oh, no, you have to be in the top 2% before you ever earn a trip or see a gift or get a prize or a reward. No, that thing doesn't work. How many of those stories have we heard? Wow. Between Maria and Jennifer, are you guys Googling, or you guys are coming up with some amazing names? Awesome job. Jennifer also shared Eleanor Roosevelt. See, now I have to Google Eleanor Roosevelt's story because I don't know her story, but I think I would enjoy reading it. So, you know, you have to have that belief in yourself, in your actions, and in your success. You have to yes, I know, Maria, great one. The KFC CEO, I know that story. KFC, that was a really great. And even in the fast food world, Mr. Wendy also had some stories. So those are really great ones. Thank you guys. Keep them coming so that we can research and read these stories later on. But despite being ridiculed and rejected, these people, they put a lot of time into their craft, into honing their skills. They stick with it. And now look, I mean, Eleanor Roosevelt, Gerard Ford, Steve Jobs, the KFC CEO, these are people who, many of them have passed away, and we're still drawing inspiration from their stories. Why? Because they took that risk. They stepped out away from the norm. They had enough belief in their self and what they had to contribute to the world and the possibilities of their success that they were able to make such a huge impact on our lives. Don't you want to have that level of impact on somebody else's life? Okay, yes, maybe we will not be the next Elon Musk, but maybe one of us will be. Like, could you imagine 10 years from now? Maria, a little bit earlier, you said Lisa Scola. So Lisa Scola is someone we all know. She's an Avon representative. Somebody asked Lisa Scola if when she started. Oh yeah, Walt Disney is another really great one. His story is pretty good. But somebody asked Lisa Scola if when she got started, she knew she was going to be such a huge Avon success and inspiring so many of us today. Matter of fact, Milagros. Putting people on the spot here, right? Milagros is right here on this stream. Somebody asked Milagros if when she first started this business, she knew she was going to be the Milagros Garcia of Avon in the Avon commercials. She probably didn't know, but she had it in her mind to be that, and she kept working towards it until she became that. But Millie, I'm sorry, I'm going to put you on the spot. But when you first signed up with Avon, did you have any idea that you were going to be able to accomplish all of the things that you have accomplished so far? And I imagine that you're probably going to accomplish so much more now and in the future than that initial, baby Milagros. Imagine when she first got started. Millie, if you're still on, please share with us. Let these ladies know. But the reason I wanted to share this with you guys was because you might look at this Los Cabos trip as, no, I'm not even going to try for it. It's just another trip. It's just something else that I'm not going to earn. But what if you changed your mindset and put yourself in the mindset of, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this and more. Right? What died here? I think my video cut out. I'm probably over time. But I am still recording if you guys can't see me. So I'll add this in later on. But think about it, guys. Think about what it is that you want to accomplish. Think about what your dreams and goals are and start believing. Because none of that stuff will become possible without you first believing that it is possible. hold on to those impossible dreams. I think it was Alice in Wonderland when she says she does 4 or imagines 4 impossible things every day before breakfast, something like that. Hold on to those impossible things, because it's that moment of the impossible becoming possible. It's like there's magic inside that moment. And we want to have more of those moments, but we're not going to have them without the initial belief. We're not going to have them without people earning these crazy incentives and doing what needs to be done to get there. And you will, when you convince yourself and when you show yourself all the amazing things that you can do, you're going to be blown away. I look back at my last few years in Avon, and I can't imagine, I can't believe the stuff that's happened. And I kind of think to the future, and I'm like, wow, could you imagine what could possibly happen going on in from here, right? And I want to see you guys do that too. And I want you guys to believe, not just because Georgie said go for the incentive, or because you feel like you're going to be left out because everybody else is going for the incentive, but because you really believe that it's possible for you. And you might surprise yourself. I mean, I would rather give it a try and surprise myself than not give it a try and continue to say, oh, well, I knew I wasn't going to surprise myself, so I didn't try. Like, why? Why do that to yourself? So that's our topic of discussion for tonight. Thank you guys all for joining me. Thank you guys for chatting with me. Thank you guys for sharing your comments and your thoughts and your ideas with each other in the chat box. You guys are what make this happen and make this work. And I'm so excited to be able to be a part of this now, watching you guys all come together and build your businesses. And I'm excited to see what you guys accomplish with your business going forward. But again, it starts with your belief. So believe big, dream big, do great stuff, break out of the ordinary, forget mediocrity. We want to be extraordinary. Let it start today and move forward from here, guys. So thanks again for joining me. I'll see you guys here tomorrow night, same time, same place. Bye.